Welcome to King Kansas Movie Reviews right here on YouTube Land. I'm your host, the one and only King Kansas, here to bring you another movie review. A little excited, guys, to bring you guys this review right here on YouTube. What movie am I referring to? Come on. A little small movie came out basically about a week ago, I want to say, December 20th in particular. What the hell am I talking about? I'm talking about Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. The whole crew's back, and I'll tell you right now, it's not as bad as everybody's making out to be, you know? So anyways, like always, guys, I'm going to have a spoiler alert right across the screen. I'm going to be talking about a few things that I liked and disliked about the movie. It will be spoiler, not heavy, but there'll be spoiler moments. I'll tell you guys exactly what I like about it, what I don't like about it, what they could have maybe done better in my opinion, and if you should get your butts in the movie theaters and waste your time and watch possibly, whether you like it or not, cinematic history, especially when it concerns the whole Luke Skywalker or Skywalker saga comes to a conclusion. 9 movies, J.J. Abrams back to direct this one. I know you took a little breather with The Last Jedi and Rian Johnson there and whatever, and you know what? I wish that wasn't the case personally, because we probably would have got a more sound or more, I guess, better experience out of it, out of this trilogy, if he was in control of all. So it's very apparent, guys, from watching The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and this film, The Rise of Skywalker, there was no game plan. It wasn't planned out like how the MCU films usually are. You can tell that. No lie, you guys seen it for yourself. It is what it is. But hey, you know what? The King doesn't care. King's a movie fan. I'm not gonna say I'm a diehard Star Wars fan, or because I want the movie to be this way, I'm gonna pretty much shit on this film or shit on that film. No, for me, I always base it on my enjoyment of the movies. Would it get my butt in the theater to watch it? Am I gonna enjoy it? Am I gonna be able to watch it again and again? Down the road, recent, that's how I judge my movies, and that's how I rank if I like my movies, to tell you the truth, or if I think you guys will enjoy it. Just because I'm a Star Wars fan, I'm not going to judge it as a Star Wars fan, because if you do that, you will have divisive views and stuff, and at the end of the day, everybody's entitled to their own opinions. But anyways, let's begin. Okay, my dislikes. It is what people have been saying. A little overcrammed with stuff, a little jumping around here and there. If you are a Last Jedi fan, you will be a little bit pissed off, I think, in my opinion, or you'll be taken aback from it. And if you haven't even seen it, I don't think it'll matter, but you'll be wondering, why are they visiting and saying certain things in the scene? The beginning of the film, yes, we get the Emperor back. So the Emperor is back. That's one of my dislikes, actually, guys. The way they used him. I know that what JJ was trying to do, he was trying to connect all the, 8 movies before it together to bring it to an end, but the way it came across, it was like, are you joking? Especially, when the Emperor is a big deal. Like, you're bringing back a key person from the original trilogies and then a little bit at the end of the prequels, if you want to call it, and you bring him back just to be, I don't know, I want to call it like a sideshow. Like, no lightsaber fight, using lightning bolts and being an idiot. And I thought, personally, his agenda was all about living forever. And his whole thing of having Rey wanting to kill him so he can go to the Force, light force, or whatever the hell you want to call it, the dark side again, and she can be his new whatever vessel. I don't know. It was so dumb. The whole thing is, maybe he would want to kill them so he can get the power for himself, so he can keep it for himself, not to give it up to someone else. But they misused them. Let's just say that, okay, guys? The whole redemption of Kylo Ren was kind of stupid, but at the same time, you could see it. The writing was across the wall, because this movie, guys, unfortunately, there is a lot of fan service, which can kind of tune a lot of people off. It did for me a little bit, and if you guys are really major Star Wars fans, I could see this movie really pissing off a lot of you guys. But if you just go in just to popcorn film and just enjoy yourself, it won't bother you as much. There is a little bit jumping around here and there, kind of reminded me a little bit of how Justice League was a little bit. I'll kind of reference to that. Beginning of the film, the crawl, whatever, it pretty much reveals what the hell's going on. And the first thing, there's no mystery of, oh, here you go, guys. Here's the, Kylo's gonna find the Emperor and confront him, and I don't know, this whole thing, talking his brains and stuff. Like I said, little points like that to underwrite or to kind of pretty much toss aside the Last Jedi stuff for events, yes. All they had to do was correct the whole Luke Skywalker thing. The way he died like that was cheesy and lame. That's the only thing I really hated about The Last Jedi, But whatever. There is one point in the movie that, yeah, he does do that. Rey tosses her lightsaber or some crap on that deserted island shit, and he ends up goes, that's no way to respect whatever. So that's kind of like a nod to whatever. But that's all you had to do. Instead of wasting the first, I guess, maybe 35, maybe 40 minutes of the film course correcting the previous film and just use that, you could have solved that within a 5-minute scene of just that. That's all you had to do. Problem solved. You didn't have to waste half your movie with that and jumping here and there, and I don't know, the way the whole Millennium Falcon was warping through and hitting reverse, and you thought in all the other Star Wars movies that will destroy a ship, but to keep on doing it and taking that risk, and trust me, there's a lot of little stupid things, like kind of like Endgame. It's like, little plot holes. Like, if you really thought about it, you'd be really goes, no, come on. But there was one in particular that really done it for me, is the whole Kylo Ren and Rey relationship, or whatever the hell it was. There was no relationship, but they made it out. And yes, there is a kiss, which kind of like threw me totally off. That, hold on a second, Rey's all of a sudden, in a sense, okay with a murderess or killer, basically. Killed his father, killed Han Solo, killed all those people, and you're gonna be okay, and just because he saves your life and whatever, it's totally ridiculous in that sense. But anyways, okay, that's pretty much what I didn't like about it. I can nitpick even more and whatever, but no, you know what, I'm not gonna do it, because I'll be here an hour and a half, and I'm not about hating on film. Okay. And trust me, there's a whole bunch of other plot storylines. Like, you have every Star Destroyer, like there's like Star Destroyers or planet, whatever the hell, attached to the ships or whatever. King, like I said, little stupid things, but you know what? You got to take it as it is with a grain of salt and just kind of let it roll off your back, because a lot of things didn't make sense, but whatever. Anyways, cool things. Action, phenomenal. The score was great. Action was great. Rey having superpowers based on her heritage, and that was another thing. JJ she wanted her parents to be a nobody, and apparently, well, you brought back the Emperor, it made sense to go there. Did I approve it? No, but it made sense. But just how things went down was kind of dumb. But anyways, apparently she is related to the Emperor, so major spoiler alert. If you guys didn't know that, too bad, so sad. You guys had how many days? And if you read it everywhere, it's posted all over the place. But apparently she is the granddaughter of Palpatine. I can't even pronounce his damn name. The Emperor. And yeah, she's powerful. There was a scene that I guess Chewbacca gets captured. He's on a ship. There was 2 of them. He ends up taking off. She's holding back using the Force, and I guess Mr. Kylo shows up and does the same thing. They're having a battle, and then she unleashes like a bolt of thing, and it looked like it blew up Chewie inside the ship or whatever, but she felt him on another ship and whatever the hell. Action's cool. Like the whole Han Solo showing up on the ship with Kylo, having a chat there. He was pretty much hallucinating or having a conversation in his mind, so he was no Force ghost, which makes sense because he never had the Force anyways. But it was just dumb. Like, if you're gonna do that, why would you have him get killed in the first place, kind of thing, And Princess Leia, some scenes it worked, it didn't work in the others. It was good to see her on the screen. Carrie Fisher to interact with Rey. She's the one who trained Rey and to use these powers and all these Jedi, which I had no clue about. So I'm not going to pretend to know that I know every single Star Wars book, novel, canon, what's not canon. No clue. But I would have thought maybe she would learn most of that stuff from Luke. That's probably why she met up with him on the island of the Last Jedi to get trained, or whatever the crap is, the beginning of it, right? Or the end of the Force Awakening. But apparently she did it. And I don't know, you could see that her scenes, as good as they were emotionally for you, they didn't quite fit with the story. But it is what it is. They wanted to have her, and they didn't want to, get a young actress, which they should have done, and superimpose her face. Like, come on, they did it with Paul Walker, Fast and the Furious. Got his brothers to do it. Could have done something like that. Maybe her sister step in and kind of, honor it that way, that it can work better with the storyline. But based on that, it kind of had restrictions with the rest, which I think that's why JJ might have kind of like scrambled a little bit to also pay fan service to undo a lot of the BS that went down on The Last Jedi, according to people, to make them happy. But it also affected the overall scope. Certain characters, Finn's character was much better in this one. Same with Poe's, more involved, which is great. More interaction from the core three, as I call them. That was great. BB-8, what was the other guy? The little stupid thing, I want to call him Bobo Freak or whatever his name. That little mechanic dude, hilarious. That, if you guys want to laugh, he was like one of the highlights. You're going to laugh. When you first see him and him just going on, it's cool. C-3PO finally had more in any Star Wars film, in any film in the previous 8 movies or whatever. That was great. He finally got something. R2-D2 still got stuck with Leia back on whatever the hell she was hanging out there. We got the chance to see different places in the universe. It was great. The battle scenes, like, especially the Emperor raising the ships, was pretty cool, but it's like, didn't make sense at some part. The Sith are hiding, and you got Snoke is a clone. Kind of figured that out just based on whatever, and you kind of seen that when Kylo meets up with him for the first time, and he explains to him, and it's me, and he's doing all the different voices. Would have been nice to see more of Luke, I guess, being more involved. It was okay, but should have had a greater impact, in my opinion, guys. I honestly think she should have came back at the end with freaking Darth Vader, with Anakin himself. Would have been nice at the end to go after the Emperor, like the two of them, like having maybe them come back together to go after him to kind of get rid of him. That didn't happen. But bringing people back from the dead here and there, that was cool. We kind of knew that because if you watch The Mandalorian, Baby Yoda did it. So I kind of hinted that's probably why. It could have been a coincidence why they released it a couple of days before. So when we did see in the movie, we're like, what the hell are you guys talking about, right? Kind of makes sense. So it kind of broke the ice for us in that sense to figure out they can bring people back. But it's too much. From the dead, I don't know, maybe to heal people, that's more what I call cool, but from the dead, it's kind of iffy for me. Especially like if that didn't happen before, why wouldn't you learn anything? Why wouldn't Luke pass that along or made it, people, I guess maybe us, aware? You would have brought back the other fallen Jedi in the past, and bring them back, but that's me. That's whatever, right? So a lot of good things. The story was cool. Like it went fast. I'm not gonna say I was bored to say, oh my god, is it over yet? But the movie could have used an extra 15 minutes, I think, guys, to stretch it out. But that's the whole problem with this whole, what we got in The Mandalorian, that you can actually develop the characters over 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 episodes. This, you only have 2.5 hours to do so, and you kind of felt rushed at certain points. But the jumping here and there, the Falcon scene is phenomenal there. That's funny. The humor was much better in here. The action was great. Just the execution was kind of a little bit weak in my opinion. But I totally liked it. I like this movie a lot better than The Last Jedi, because The Last Jedi, if Luke didn't die the way he went down, it would have made more sense. It would have made sense if Leia died in that one and Luke stayed alive to fight another day and to end this damn trilogy, because it is, after all, Luke Skywalker, the Skywalker thing. Even Princess Leia is her brother. Sorry, Princess Leia is his sister. It was more focused on that. And I can understand why the Emperor didn't show up, because he was worried that Luke was still around and maybe to reveal himself. So he was probably waiting for Luke to go. Kind of like a Transformers thing, guys, when, the Fallen was waiting for the last Prime to go so he can actually do his damage and show up and not be threatened by him, which would have made more sense. Luke was doing whatever he had to do in order to do it, and like to raise ships up, and a lot of nods here and there, and characters they should have used. Carrie Russell's character was cool. She was neat. I would have loved to see a little bit more, but they just kind of did that more just to kind of add more depth, I believe, to Poe. Like maybe that's someone he was connected to. I'm just going to leave it at that. The whole, Rey and Kylo thing throughout the whole movie was pretty cool. Just like I said, I was thrown off with the whole kiss thing. If you're gonna kiss him, I wouldn't kiss him like she did, like, you know, giving him a kiss on the lips. I would have given him a kiss on his forehead, said thank you. And then why bring him back for him to die just like that? It didn't make sense. Like, why redeem him? Just to redeem him so you can kill him. It's one of those things. And you know what? And it didn't make sense. A lot of plot holes, guys. Like I said, you know, you didn't want to kill the Emperor so he doesn't become powerful, but then she still ends up, you know, whatever. And then, you know, the different fallen Jedi, you know, like Luke Skywalker talking to Darth Vader, Anakin, and all that. That was kind of a neat touch. The ending was predictable. Guys, come on. They wanted to end up with a good note, and that the good note is, like I said, she didn't keep her Palpatine last name. She took Skywalker, which I kind of figured out. And I was like, whatever. It is what it is. She buried the lightsabers on Tatooine. I guess that's where that desert planet she was there, and she made her own lightsaber. And you can see the Force ghosts of Leia and Luke there kind of giving a nod when that old lady comes by and asks her, you know. But overall, I enjoyed it, you know. Would I go back and see it in the theater right away? Probably not. But if you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend you guys get your butts in there. Don't listen to the critics, like I always say. Don't listen to even me sometimes, but usually I'm on the money. When I tell you guys something's good, it's good. If not, don't. But I do give a thumbs up to this. I'm not going to say it's an amazing film, it's a great film, it's a good film. I've seen a lot of worse films than this, guys, that have been put together, you know. If you kind of like, I would say, if you were okay with what they did with Justice League, maybe, you'll be okay with this. If you like The Last Jedi, you might not like this. If you're a deep Star Wars guy, you might be offended, but overall, I think it's good for anybody to go see this holiday season. Get your butts in the theater. The King will definitely add it to his Blu-ray collection when it does come out. Probably watch it a couple of times then with my niece and nephew. And don't even be surprised if I get my butt in the theater in January, because there's not too many movies coming out, except Bad Boys later on this month from it's worth mentioning. But I would recommend you guys get in there. I'm not going to tell you guys, oh, if you don't go see it, you're going to regret it. But I think you will regret it, because if you're a Star Wars guy, you want to see how this whole Skywalker saga ends, you got to watch it, especially if you've seen the other two. And like I always say, treat each movie as its own. Would have been nice if it was planned like how Marvel does with their cinematic universe, but it is what it is. Kathleen Kennedy did her thing, you know. She allowed the directors, and JJ should have stayed on for all three. I think it would have made more sense, and it would have been better flow to the whole trilogy as of here's one, and it's a direct sequel to this, and we'll kind of bypass the other stuff in between. But the actors did an amazing job with what they were given. I know I missed a lot of moments in this review, guys, but you know what? Go check it out for yourselves. Come back in the comment section. Let me know what you thought of it. Do you agree with me, disagree with me? You think I'm crazy for even liking it just that much? I don't care. Like I said, I'm a movie fan first and everything else. If it's not worthwhile, I'll tell you, seriously, not to go see it, but I'll tell you, go check it out. You're not going to regret it. I don't think you're going to say, oh my God, I wasted 2.5 hours of my time or whatever for this film. You won't. You're going to enjoy yourself. There's a lot of people in the theater that did enjoy it. You're not going to like everything they did with the movie, but hey, that's watching movies, in your opinion. It's your own objective of what you think. You can always get what you want in a sense, as long as it's executed well and you're entertained at the end of the day. It is called the movies for a reason, right? So that's my thoughts on Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Whew. 9 movies, you know. I'm kind of hoping there's another one, like 10, like a surprise one in 1 or 2 years to say, here you go, guys. This is how it should really end, but never say never. But as for now, it's the end of the 9-movie saga called the Skywalker saga. So until then, be the hell good. Check out my other videos on YouTube for other movie reviews and on my couch reviews. Go check out my Witcher. And of course, stay tuned. Moving forward, January 2020 and on, I'll try my best. I'll watch as much as I can. Recommend movies that you guys haven't seen. Recommend even movies you want me to do my reviews on, because I've seen a lot right here on YouTube Land. So until next time, be the hell good. Stay off the King's throne and let the Force be with you. Take it easy.